Introduction, Baby Knows Best. It starts out with an epigraph by Magda Gerber, who created RIE, which we'll be learning about. Observe more, do less. Magda Gerber. Dear parent, parenting is a difficult job and one that is impossible to fully prepare for. My son's newborn diapers were neatly stacked, the drawer was full of onesies, and my heart was full of love for a child I had yet to meet. Then Elijah was born. I asked the nurse at the hospital if I could stay just one more night. I had spent so much time lying awake gazing at my baby that I was utterly exhausted. The nurses kept saying, "You need to sleep when he sleeps," but I didn't want to rest. I wanted to observe his every move and respond to his every gurgle. We arrived home, and the constant caring for my son hit me like a ton of bricks. I had never had a full-time job that was so literally full-time, or one that was so demanding as well as important to me. When my husband and I took Elijah for his 1 month checkup, his pediatrician asked me if I had been out of the house. When I told him I hadn't even taken a walk in the neighborhood, he ordered me to stop hibernating and get out of the house. But how would I do that? Days went by when I couldn't even manage to squeeze in a shower. In those early weeks, have it sufficiently together to go for a stroll in the neighborhood seemed like climbing Everest. What if we were out and he started to cry? What if he was too cold, too warm? What if it started to rain? What if? I had to prepare for any contingency, didn't I? It wasn't that I was particularly anxious, but I felt I had to have all the answers. In those few first weeks, I experienced a potent combination of exhilaration and exhaustion. I was certainly elated to be a mother, but because I was working so hard at it, some of the pure pleasuring of parenting was lost. When Elijah made the slightest peep, I leaped up to see what was the matter. His cries, whether big or small, meant there was something I needed to fix, and the sooner the better. Responding so quickly to my son's upset made it impossible for me to pull back and consider the full picture. I was operating under the assumption that babies should be happy all the time. I don't know anyone who is happy all the time, so why was I expecting something different from my baby? When Elijah was a year old, I was fortunate to discover the work of Magda Gerber. Through her book, Your Self-Confident Baby. The title intrigued me because self-confidence was not something I would ever have ascribed to a baby. I read the book, and my husband Johnny and I found our way to RIE, Parent Infant Guidance classes, which had a profound impact on the way we parent and our relationship with our son. Over the year, over time, I slowed down, learned to observe, and discovered just how competent and capable Elijah could be. Once I got to know my son not as a baby, but as a unique individual, our interactions fundamentally changed. I relaxed, my confidence grew, and being with Elijah became a lot more fun. You may have been parented in a way that you would like to emulate with your child, or you may want to prevent very differently. You may want to parent very differently from the way you were parented. To let go of patterns from your childhood that you prefer not to repeat. But how do you break a cycle that has been passed down from one generation to the next? Awareness and intention are important first steps, but then what? How do you replace what you know with what you don't know? For most of us, parenting is the most important job we will have in our lives, and yet it is often one we are unprepared for, at least in a way of a formal education. While biology is part of the standard high school curriculum, basic infant development is nowhere to be found. Parents who consider themselves competent in other areas of their lives sometimes feel unsure when it comes to caring for their babies. They presume they can rely on instinct, but find themselves confused about how best to care for their baby. This is compounded by the fact that little or no social service support exists for new parents in most communities, and many new parents live miles away from their own parents or other family members who might offer guidance and support. No wonder many new parents go to the bookstore or search the internet in the middle of the night to find answers to an immediate challenge. But it can be confusing when one answer entirely contradicts another. What's a parent to do? The educaring approach is the basis for this book and provides a framework and practical tools that will support you in finding your own solutions to all sorts of parenting challenges and in becoming a more confident parent. The approach is based on the unique principles and revolutionary teachings of Magda Gerber. world-renowned founder of RIE, Resources for Infant Educators. A comprehensive approach to caring for and being with your baby, Educaring lays the foundation for a lifelong relationship based on respect. It shows you ways to understand what your baby really needs and teaches you how to respond to those needs accurately. Although the approach focuses on newborns to 2-year-olds, the concepts will continue to serve you well long after your baby is out of diapers. No special equipment is necessary. All that is needed is an open mind and heart.